And welcome back. Teens and driving. Every day, thousands of teens get their license. I have one kid who already has her license and then two others who will be driving age in the next few years. So today, what parents like me should do before their teenager ever steps foot in a classroom or gets in the driver's seat.
That's right. Ann Scallon is with Before the Wheel, an online resource to keep all drivers safe on the roads, right? Good to see you, Ann.
Thank you.
Hey, Ann.
Yeah, we love it when you're here. This is great. And this is really talking about teens and the things that happen while they're driving and how we can kind of help them manage through that. So what are some of the things that happen when teens get in the car that we need to be talking to them about and truly connect with them on?
Well, teens like to be with other teens, obviously, and so the more teens there are, the more distractions there are, the more kind of pulling against the focus of the driver. So you want to have some really early conversations with your teen about, I kind of say like a framework of trust. This is what our expectations are as parents, and then find out what their expectations are, and hopefully it probably will start here. Hopefully you can start to bring it here.
What might be a typical child's expectation? What would they say to mom and dad? This is what I expect.
Most teens expect full 100% privileges. They can do anything.
Right away.
Right away. I mean, I passed the license. The state said I'm good.
Give me the keys.
Yeah. And the thing to remember is it's a probationary license. Probationary means you're being watched and you follow the rules. So if they get caught without a seatbelt on, or anyone in their car without a seatbelt, automatically the probationary license is going to be, you know, extended 3 months, 6 months, or 9 months. If they have additional passengers, they're only allowed to have one passenger who isn't a family member. So they've really got to follow those rules.
And I think that's one of the most often violated rules during the probationary period is how many other kids are in the car. I really think, kids are relatively good about putting on their seatbelts. They've kind of grown up with it, I think, in this generation. And so a lot of them I see putting on their seatbelts, but it's the other kids in the car. What about managing distractions? Because
let me just follow, because that's so important. Practically every state now has some law regarding passengers. That has saved the most lives.
Really?
So when you follow just one out-of-family passenger, no more, that has saved the most lives across the entire country.
It's great to know.
Yeah, because with each passenger, you're probably upping the distractions.
Right. Exactly.
In terms of managing distractions, when I was driving, it was loud music. It was, you know, kids talking, screaming, being, you know, rambunctious, maybe eating in the car. But now I feel like it's through the roof with cell phones, with texting, talking on the phone. How do you talk to your teen about those distractions, and what do you suggest when they're new to driving in terms of the cell phone and texting?
Well, again, we've always talked about lead by example. So if you're, you know, driving and going like this and all that other stuff, it's going to be hard to preach something that you're not practicing. The second item is a good way to present it is, this is an entry-level position. You're not coming in as a manager, you're coming in entry level. And at entry level, you can't handle all these other things going on. So choosing the lower passenger is a big help. And then, you know, if you're the driver, you're in the driver's seat. And explain what that expression means. In the driver's seat means you're in control. So if people in your car start acting out of control, you can stop somewhere. You can say, let's, you know, have a soda or a coffee.
Maybe just break up the energy.
Right. I always say, whether you're a passenger or a driver, stop that momentum. When the momentum's getting out of control, think of an excuse to stop that car, get everybody out. And, you know, it's really hard, because it's hard to an adult to have a discussion with the driver if the driver's making the, you know, inappropriate behaviors. But it's good to just kind of say, you know, this is getting kind of weird and maybe we should do this, or, you know, but you've stopped the action, and that's what makes a big difference.
Well, I think that's great, because if you're a passenger and you're uncomfortable, you know, sometimes if you just say, hey, can you slow down or whatever, they might speed up or do something to kind of like tease you, which is only making the situation worse. So I know you've said before, like, say you have to go to the restroom or you need to stop for something, you know, like some excuse to, like you said, stop that momentum. I think one thing for kids and for parents, it's that trust, you know, it's that continual conversation so that they trust and they hear what you say. Are there certain times, how early do you start the conversation?
I think it's good always to, first of all, do it in a relaxed manner, not we're going to have a teen driving conversation.
Right, let's not sit down and talk about it. Okay.
If you're going to shopping for school supplies or clothes or something like that, that's a good time to say, well, let's go out for a pizza afterwards or something like that. And then bring up some things. And, you know, just talk about some things. What is this responsibility? It's probably if they're a sophomore or junior, it's a couple years before they're going to college.
Right. This
is kind of their first life test of decision making on their own.
Yeah.
And so you want to tell them, you know, that it is a big deal. So, you know, they've got to make the right decisions in those situations, and you've got to talk about the different situations frequently. At least I would say every 4, 6, or 8 weeks, sit down and what's going on, how's it going, and
have that conversation.
It's great information.
Good stuff. Yeah, you have a great online resource where people can get a hold of your newsletter. BeforeTheWheel.com is the website to visit for that newsletter and more information about safe driving. Thanks, Ann. Always great to see you.